What is going on, peasants? My name is JB and I'm back here today with a team takeover, I guess, analysis here in the GDL, aka the Galar Defenders League. I want to give a shout out to OG Albina, JBWestside, and Olivia for letting me in the league. Diet actually sent me the invite, and I know that Liv and OG Albina are two of the other owners of the league. I don't know who else is, but shout out to everyone, basically. But yeah, I took over for Frosted, and you might be wondering why you're staring at a blank screen currently. And we have a little bit of setup to do for that, and it is one man's fault. Why you're looking at what you're looking at, and why you're going to be looking at what you're going to be looking at for the rest of this video. I'm doing this a little bit different than I normally would, but yeah, there's one person to blame for what you're about to see, and that is Mr. Shakewaza. So I put it on my front office server that I took over for a team in GDL. He asked who I took over for. I said Frosted, who is a wonderful person, by the way, and Frosted is just great. But Shay told me to dye my hair blonde for the first video, and well, let's just rip the band-aid off, boys. Yeah, it doesn't really show up great. I only did like the part that you guys can see, but yeah, it happened. It's spray. It's temporary spray. Don't worry. So, I mean, I do kind of like it. I kind of low-key actually would consider dyeing my hair like probably a lighter color than this, but it's not awful, man. I kind of like it. But yeah, this is Shay's fault, and I hate it, but I said I would do it, and now here I am. But yeah, dude, let's go ahead and just hop right into what you guys actually care about, and that is the team that I am taking over and the team that I currently had. So let's just get right on into that. I'll be right back for you guys. Okay, so here you can see the team that Frosted had. She had a pretty solid squad. A lot of really fun Pokemon, but I kind of went in and tore this team apart. I ended up only keeping 3 Pokemon on this team because, well, one, I wanted to use some cool stuff that I thought was left on the board, and just that, and the fact that I'm just not a huge fan of weather in general, and let alone double weather. Just not really my cup of tea when it comes to Pokemon, so I definitely needed to make some changes to the squad, and let's go ahead and go over those right meow. Like I said, I ended up keeping 3 Pokemon on the team. The first Pokemon I kept was the Excadrill. As you can imagine, Excadrill is one of the better Pokemon just in draft format currently, and in OU currently. It's just a great all-around Pokemon, sporting fantastic offenses and solid enough defenses, great ability as well in Sand Rush, Mold Breaker, and Sand Force. And it's one of the better steel types just around, period. Steel types are good. Steel types especially are super scarce in Gen 8. And you got to make sure you get a good one. Having one of the better ones on my squad as a building block is just something really nice to have, and something that I was definitely looking forward to keeping. Next up, we have Mimikyu on the squad. I wanted a solid fairy type, and it was one of the only decent fairy types available. I don't even remember what the original fairy was. I'm gonna hop back in. So the original fairy on this team was a Alolan Ninetales. Like I said, not a fan of double weather. Mimikyu was the only other fairy available. Legitimately, like one of the only other fairies available, like, period. But it was in the same point tier as Alolan Ninetales, so I was able to just swap those two out 1 for 1. Mimikyu provides me an excellent late game cleaner with just Disguise Sword Stance. If you can get your opponent's team weakened, you get that free +2 and just spam Shadow Sneak until everything dies. Like, Mimikyu's really good at just cleaning up games. It's also just a very solid all-around Pokemon. Decent bulk, can do some really funky, annoying stuff, and I'm looking forward to really annoying some opponents with this thing, because it can definitely be a Pokemon that can just win a game if your opponent isn't preppable for it. Next up, we have Gigalith. So we had Hippowdon on the team, but I wanted to, get some more offense, or just more like good high tier Pokemon. And Gigalith, I feel like, is just a better partner setting stand for Excadrill, simply because, like, it's cheaper. And Gigalith, while not quite as bulky as Hippowdon and doesn't have access to recovery, is still a very, very bulky Pokemon. With 85 HP, 130 defense, and even 80 Spidef, which is buffed by Sand. In Sand, with the boost to Spidef. Being a rock type, yeah, Gigalith is a really solid Pokemon, great rock setter. Gets some fun new toys. It gets Body Press with his massive Fizz-Def stat. Also gets Curse, which I don't know if it's new or not, but hey, dude, that's pretty lit. Like I said, a great rock setter, good enough move pool, really solid Pokemon. It's something I've been considering trying on, like, just as a Pokemon, regardless of whether or not I have Sand. Like, I've been considering just drafting Gigalith because I think it's a cool Pokemon, and yeah, dude, cool to have it. Next up, there were very few good dragons left. I don't consider Appleton a good dragon, so I wanted to get a better dragon, that being Gudra. There were no like offensive dragons left. There was Flygon and Duraludon, which were probably better in terms of purely offensive dragon types, but getting myself just a little bit of extra bulk on what ends up being a pretty frail team overall would seem like the better to go. So I went with Goodra. Gives me some really solid abilities in Sap Sipper and Gooey, slowing my opponents down and just giving me a grass immunity, which is always nice to have, and just a fantastic move pool. It's a type of Pokemon that can have coverage for an entire team just by itself, so that's something that's really nice. And like I said, it's very, very bulky, has a massive speed F stat for no fucking reason, and good all around attack stats as well, and decent speed. Like, it's a really, really solid Pokemon. Next up, I know I just shit talked Appleton, but it is actually one of the Pokemon that I ended up keeping. It ended up being that I had to keep either my tier 4 or my tier 5, and I went ahead and kept Appleton simply because it gave me an earthquake resist. So that's really the only reason I kept Appleton. It's a solid grass type, but having that, you know, double typing for dragon is actually a hindrance for that, because it does make it weaker to ice type attacks, obviously, but it does have thick fat, which sort of makes up for that, making it, you know, just a regular weakness to ice rather than the times 4 weakness to ice when you factor in like percentages and stuff like that. So it's pretty solid. Like I said, good earthquake switching, decent enough move pool. What's its signature move called? Apple Acid, very, very spammable. Lower spin F by 1, so you can really start snowballing some damage with that if you get it in the right matchup. And it's all around pretty damn decent. Like, it's nothing special, it won't blow you away, probably won't come to a ton of games, but the games it comes to, hopefully it'll put in a little bit of work. Speaking of the games that Pokemon that won't come to many games, but hopefully it puts in work in the ones it does, we got Carkol. I needed a fire type. I tried to convince Diet Type to trade me Flareon, but I got impatient and I never waited for his offer, and I just made the changes anyway. So we have Carkol. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't like Carkol, but I don't like Eviolite Mons, period, but specifically Carkol, just not a fan. It's got okay bulk. It's actually faster than Colossal, which is really funny, but I'm just never been a fan of Eviolite Pokemon. It's got really solid abilities though with Flame Body, Flash Fire, and Steam Engine. Now listen, I'm not one to toot my own dick, but if I could pull off the indoor Steam Engine set with a Carkol, you bet your ass I'm gonna try to at one point. But gets rocks, gets spikes, gets rapid spin. It's decently bulky. It's not great. If it comes, it's probably going to be hazard control. But yeah, it is what it is. So next up is our Gmax. Now, while Inteleon is cool, and you'll see here in a little bit, it actually put in quite a bit of work in the one game I had it for. I wanted to use a different Gmax simply because I thought it looked more fun. And now this is a league where Gmax Pokemon are required to hold a Pokeball, just to nerf them a little bit. So I wanted to have also a Gmax that gives me access to Trick is really nice. So we have Gengar. Gengar's just really fun. It's a super, super cool Pokemon. Ghost Spam obviously is great. That's why we have, you know, Double Ghost with that and Mimikyu. It's kind of, you know, something I actually sought out as well, was getting a little bit of Ghost Spam once I saw that that was an option. Like, yeah, that's a really good thing. Let's get Ghost Spam, lol. But yeah, Gengar's really solid. Great move pool. Its Gmax move is Ghost, obviously, and I believe it acts like Perish Trap, or no, Shadow Tag. I believe it traps. I'm not 100% certain on that. And obviously its other dual stab Poison, giving it a +1 special attack, is phenomenal. And just an all-around great move pool. Really solid Pokemon. Definitely something I'm looking forward to using. Next up we have Weavile. Weavile was still available somehow, so that helps me patch up that elite speed tier. Oh man, if you know why that's funny, you've been around this channel for a while. But yeah, Weavile is a great Pokemon. Fantastic speed tier. Great just physical attacker. Pokemon I've used a ton of times. I've won championships with Weavile in the past. Gets triple axle now, which is cool, but yeah, it's just a really fast dark type, really offensive Pokemon. Great dual stab, very hard to switch into, and yeah, just a fantastic Pokemon all around. Not really much else to say. I'm kind of just speeding through this. I don't have a ton to say about these Pokemon. You guys know what they do. But it's also really hot in my room because I have to keep the fan off because of the green screen fucks up if I have the fan on, and I'm dying. My forehead is, my eyebrows are going to be the gold ones after the end of this. But next up we have Xatu. Gives me a flying type, gives me removal with Defog, as well as deterrent with Magic Bounce. Basically, it was a really solid tier 4 that was available, and I, you know, went ahead and grabbed it. Gives me solid pivoting, decent bulk, solid move pool as well. Not a whole hell of a lot else to see. Next up is the last Pokemon from the original team that I ended up keeping, and that was Passimian. There was, you know, nothing else that I really wanted to pick up in terms of a fighting type, and I actually, you know, ran out of transactions. Only got 8 as opposed to the way they do it in other leagues where you get infinite transactions. I mean, infinite transactions probably wouldn't have kept Simeon, definitely wouldn't have kept Appleton and Carkle, let me tell you. But yeah, we only had 8, and I decided to keep Simeon because it's a really solid Pokemon. Would have liked to have something a little bit like just not Simeon, if that makes sense. Like I said, it's okay. It gets a lot of like really cool moves. Knock, close combat, gunk shot, U-turn. That's really all it needs. It gets, you know, the rare random like rock slide, seed bomb for coverage if it needs it, but it's nothing great. Pretty solid. Most of the time it's going to be either Scarf or Band. Can't really do much else other than that. It doesn't have like the speed or the bulk to really effectively run bulk up sets, but you know, if it has the right matchup, maybe we'll see. And then last but certainly not least, our final team member is Lantern. So need a water type, need an electric type. Got myself water electric type and Lantern. It also gives me pretty solid immunities with both Volt and Water Absorb. Decent enough move pool with stuff like Scald and Volt Switch and Toxic and Rest, Sleep Talk and stuff like that. So that is the squad. It is what it is. And now we got 2 games to watch, and I'll go ahead and be with you guys in 1 second for those. Alrighty, so the first game is actually my week 4 game versus Dietite. I used the original team for this game because I joined on like the Friday of week 4, meaning that we only have Saturday and Sunday to play for week 4, and he was already prepped for the original team. So I just went ahead and prepped with that team as well, and we played with that. So this is the original team that Frosted drafted, which I'll just flash up on the screen real quick to show you guys. So we are playing with this team versus Die, and I'll go ahead and pull up my sets because I don't really have those readily available because I didn't really plan on doing that, but you know, we'll roll with it. So yeah, dude, we're playing Die in week 1 or week 4 technically, and then we also had to make up a week 2 game versus Max Rapture, and he allowed me to use the team with transactions. So that's why I'm showing you these games out of order. So yeah, basically we're gonna go ahead and hop on in. Just this is sped up a little bit as well because I wasn't about to sit here for 21 minutes in postcom, and I didn't live com the game because I didn't have my fucking Amazon order for this shit yet, so I had to wait for that. Okay, how long did I give myself? Good lord. All right, okay, so I'll just pause right there. You can see the team a little bit. Okay, of course I fucked it up. So you can see the team a little bit. That is a Spexalolan Ninetales with Blizzard, Moonblast, Freeze Dry, and Dark Pulse. We have Inteleon is working up 3 attacks with Snapshot, Ice Beam, and Air Slash. Rotom is Choice Scarf with Dual Stab, Volt Switch, and Trick. Salazzle is Nasty Plot, Dual Stab, Toxic with a Pyopa Berry. Excadrill is Focus Sash, Rapid Spin, Sword Stance, Dual Stab, and then Beartic is Life Orb, 4 attacks with Slush Rush, of course. If I remember in editing, I'll flash Die's team up here, but basically he had no switch-ins for Spexalolan and Ninetales, and I really thought that would be fun to just click buttons, but he didn't really have a lot of things to do with ice in general, which is why that's kind of a theme of the team. We obviously have Slush Rush, Life Orb, Beartic, as well as ice coverage on our Inteleon, so I kind of look to take advantage of that and just click some damn ice moves versus young Jason. So let's go ahead and get into the game. Actually cutting off like 2 minutes of this, so you can see, yeah, the team he ends up bringing is Vikavolt, Tangela, Kyurem, Gastrodon, Jirachi, and Duraludon, which is his Gmax. But yeah, really no great switch-ins to Freeze Dry at all in his roster. He has Jirachi, which is his only one, which I have, you know, Salazzle, Excadrill, and you know, to some extent Inteleon to deal with, and to some extent Rotom as well. Choice Scarf Rotom, obviously, just being able to hit that thing super effectively. So basically just looking to click some damn buttons with Ninetales. Let's go ahead and hop on in. All right, so we lead off with Jolazili, Jirachi. Kind of want to scout for Scarf turn 1. I don't remember if I do, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we just go for Earthquake. Scouting for Scarf because he doesn't have great switch-ins, and it doesn't really tell me if he's Scarf, obviously, because he's faster than me, but he ends up being Shukaberry. I knew I could chew any one hit, and if he wasn't, you know, Shuka, he just died to Earthquake straight up. I could live any one hit. That's more what I meant to say. I'm just stupid and didn't actually say it. Also, I forgot to put the item on Salazzle because bad at game. So I decided to make a really weird play here. I go for Rapid Spin, either predicting him to go for Stealth Rocks or Jirachi, or switch out so he can get a speed boost versus whatever he wants to switch in. So we do go for a Rapid Spin as he brings in the Tangela. Shout out to Shay. Even though fuck Shay because he made me do this. So we get the Rapid Spin off. I can't really do anything versus this thing though, so I'm just gonna switch out and bring in Salazzle. And yeah, just thankfully avoid a Leech Seed. So I believe I just throw off a Toxic. Nope, I go for Flamethrower because I'm not smart. Should have just gone for Toxic there. Obviously having Corrosion, being able to Toxic all of the things as he brings in the Gastrodon for free. Not really sure what I was predicting there. That was kind of just a really bad play. That was a free toxic versus his team. I guess I wanted to kill Tangle, which there was no way he leaves it in. But with the Gastrodon in, I just decided to pull the hard switch into my Specs Ninetales, because once again, Mr. Jason at Tight has negative switch-ins to this thing. So gonna like to take advantage of that as he pulls a really nice double into Kirim. And you're gonna see right here, we just go for Specs Moonblast. It has like an 80% chance to Oko or something stupid like that, so I just go for it. And since I'm bringing this up, you can probably guess what happens. It lived on 1 HP and clicks Flash Cannon, and I lose my win con like turn 6. So that's a great way to start the league. So I bring in my Beartic while Slush Rush is still up, and I can just click some damn buttons. It's obviously in range of Aqua Jet, so I decided to click Throat Shot, predicting Jirachi to want to come in on that, or just anything that would want to switch in on that. It's like the best neutral coverage versus his team, as he does make the Gastrodon play on the Aqua Jet, so we don't allow him to get his Storm Chain boost there, and we actually get a crit, and it does a shitload of damage. So here I can just click the Icicle Crash, as I don't think he would want to go into Jirachi after seeing the dark move, obviously. So pretty free Icicle Crash, as he reveals Protect, and obviously is able to stall out a turn of hell, as well as avoid the damage from that. So here I decided to click Throat Chop again, predicting him to go into Jirachi on the second Icicle Crash. We'll see what he ends up doing. He does switch into Durdeludidon, which is the Duraludon, obviously. I'm not sure if you could tell. Get a decent amount of damage off a Throat Chop, and I decided to probably sack off Salazzle because no item, lol. Can't really live the hit from Jirachi that I needed to, even though we know it's not Scarf at this point. But he is just going to G-Max and probably just click Depletion and kill the fuck out of my Inteleon, which is just unfortunate. It's just rude. Like, honestly, dude, just not nice. So he actually goes for the Steel Spike, which I am able to chew quite nicely, actually. Pretty damn well. I'm not able to get off a Flamethrower. Duraludon has Piss Poor Spadef, so it's going to take a really solid amount, even in G-Max. You can see it does like 30+% to a G-Max Pokemon, which is just insane. As he goes for a second Steel Spike, which will unfortunately knock out my poor Salazzle. So we decided to go ahead and bring in our Rotom next, as we are Choice Scarf, and we are able to guarantee outspeed. And it's not quite, it's like Shadow Ball, or Volt Switch is a scary roll, so I don't decide to click it. Just go for the Shadow Ball. It's the safest play versus everything. It, gets rid of the Duraludon guaranteed. It, prevents, stuff from coming in on his team. Best neutral attack, as he does still have his ground type alive. And what not. So he's going to go for the Max Guard, which is just, annoying. So I remember this turn specifically. I figured he would want to keep this around. I'm not really sure why, but I decided to pull a double here. I don't know why. I predicted something. Let me pull up my DMs with Die, because we don't talk as much as we used to, because he doesn't love me anymore. Oh yeah, okay. So here I thought he would go Tangela, predicting the Volt Switches to get a little bit more momentum, because I don't really have a great way of dealing with Tangela anymore with Salazzle gone. So I predict the Tangela and decide to Volt Switch into, or just hard swap into Beartic, because I couldn't really explain that play, but it ends up not working out as he just clicks Flash Cannon. He was sacking off his Duraludon, and I just threw away my Beartic for no reason, basically giving myself negative ways of killing the Tangela. So we're just gonna go for Shadow Ball, get rid of the Duraludon finally, and pick that thing off once and for all. And it's looking not great. We are behind a little bit. I believe the score is currently 3-5, so got a little bit of a climb if we want to get back into this game, but hopefully we can make it happen, as Dai decides to take 12 years to bring in his Vikavolt. I'm pretty sure I sack off something here. Or I just go Hard Drill, maybe. I definitely don't stay in here. Probably Hard Drill. Yeah, we go Hard Drill. Because we can take any, obviously, electric move, and we can still live one bug move from this range if he's, like, super offensive. He goes for the Bug Buzz, gets a decent amount off. We can actually potentially live 2 of those from this range, so I'm able to just get off a free Earthquake versus his squad, and you can see it does a pretty solid amount, probably around 30%. Goes for a Bug Buzz, and we are able to live on 1 HP and get off yet another Earthquake, because, might as well get a little bit of chip damage off while we can, as the Earthquake does actually gets a really high roll and ends up being a crit, as he can just finish this off with the next Bug Buzz. So with that being out of the way, we are able to get in our G-Max Inteleon for free. when this Viking Volt is absolutely easily in range of max airstream, and we can just go ahead, click that, get ourselves a nice little speed boost and outspeed my opponent's entire team, and still have 2 turns of Gmax left to click buttons. So look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'm not gonna lie, boys, after these next few turns, I really wanted to keep Inteleon, but I had already made the transactions and couldn't, obviously. But it actually puts in quite a bit of work here. As you can see, we are obviously able to pick off the Inteleon from that, or the Viking from that range, as he brings in the Gastrodon. And he DM'd me after the game and said he forgot that the Galar starter's Gmax moves worked like Mold Breaker, so he thought he could stay in and take this hit, and unfortunately he cannot, as he goes down to the Hydro Snipe, which is fantastic. Inteleon picking up another one, so it gets 2 in his debut, and then just gets dropped because lol. So he brings in the Kiram, which is obviously on 1 HP. I can go for the Airstream and just get another little speed boost, because why the hell not? No reason not to, as that thing goes down. And all he has left is the Jirachi and the... we'll see here in a second, because I don't remember, the Tangela. I could just go for the Ice Beam here. It does the most damage to Tangela. It's not going to kill, obviously, because Tangela bulky as hell. It actually does a really, really solid amount. We got the Sniper crit there. Would have been really nice, but unfortunately we did not, and he's just able to Giga Drain himself back up to a decent amount of HP. And all we have left is the Rotom, so we are forced to lock ourselves in the Shadow Ball. So what we need to happen here is we need... Okay. So, what happened on this turn was I decided to trick this thing because I wanted to get rid of this thing's Eviolite, so it would be in range of Shadow Ball. However, me being the stupid person that I am, well, let's just watch what happens. So, go for the trick. Lock him into obviously being choice. He knocks off his Eviolite. So, I decided to make it's either a really, really pro play or a really stupid play, depending on who you ask. So I decided to trick again in order to get my choice scarf back, outspeed the Jirachi, and you know, win the game with Shadow Ball spam. Unfortunately, Dietite is smarter than me and just clicked knockoff again and kills me because I powered up his knockoff again, because I am not a smart person. And yeah, I just lose the scarf, and the play ends up not working out at all. So go for Shadow Ball. Like the idea was there. It just didn't work. You can see he ends up living on like 1%, which is just sad, and he's able to finish off my poor Rotom with the Giga Drain. So we finish that game with a -2 differential. So that puts us at, we were 0-2 when we took over. So we're 0-3. And we have one more game to play, which is going to be against Max Rapture. And yeah, I'll be with you guys in a second. I'm not looking forward to watching this back at all. All right, so we're back here with the game versus Max, and yeah, I played this game last night as I'm recording this, and I just don't wanna. This game legit made me consider retiring from Pokemon. No offense to Max, obviously it is what it is, dude. Pokemon's a stupid fucking game. It's not his fault. But yeah, this game was really, 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 really dumb, and I'm going to be triggered by this game for a very long time. And I had to play another game after this last night, and let me tell you, was still tilting that one as well, as you'll see next week. But yeah, the team we ended up bringing was Gengar with Nasty Pull at 3 attacks with Dual Stab and Dazzling Gleam, Life Orb Weavile, Adamant with just 4 attacks with Low Kick for coverage, and Ice Shard, Crash and Knockoff, Babiri Berry Mimikyu with SD, Play Rough, Shadow Claw, and Leech Life. Hindsight, should have brought Shadow Sneak on the set, but didn't. For those of you who don't know, Resist Berries and Mimikyu do work where if Mimikyu's disguise is broken by a super effective hit, it does not consume the berry. So we're good there. Brought it for Cobalion, so we can take one Iron Head, SD up on that, and kill it with Play Rough. Our Lantern is Leftovers with Scald, Thunderwave, Heal Bell, Volt Switch. Our Passimian is Choice Scarf with Close Combat, Knockoff, Gunk Shot, U-Turn. And our Gigalith is Rocky Helmet with Rocks, Stealth Rock, Rock Blast, Body Press, Toxic. And yeah, let's just there was so much that happened in this game, dude. I don't even want to talk about it, man. It was just, bruh, like, spoiler alert, I get 6-0'd. I'm not salty about getting 6-0'd. Like, that's hilarious. It happens. Like, bruh, like, I don't care about getting 6-0'd. I care about just bad, dumb luck on my part. Like, I got so fucking unlucky this game. It's unreal. So he goes hard, and this is where it starts, by the way. He goes hard Umbreon on a Gengar. So I, of course, have, you know, Dazzling Gleam to deal with this thing. So we get big on it, go for the max Starfall, and, you know, it does a really, really solid amount. I'm assuming he's going to, you know, he goes for the foul play there, but I'm assuming he's probably just gonna fucking click like, oh, I don't know, like recovery or something, and he can take it. So I decided to get my +1 boost from Max Ooze, and I'll just let the rest play out. Yeah, so we let that happen. We go for the Max Ooze just to get that nice little bit of a special attack boost. So we can guarantee kill with the Starfall, right? +1 Starfall? No, it lives on 2 HP and is able to stall out a G-Max Gengar, hitting it super effectively. So I go for Nasty Plot. Foul play from this range is a roll. It's like a mid roll, so I have to go for it in order to kill the Umbreon. And wouldn't you know, +3 fucking Dazzling Gleam doesn't even kill an Umbreon, and I just die. That's not the end of it though. That's not the fucking end of it by a long shot. So I bring in my Passimian. Gots to U-turn out, obviously. You just have to U-turn out. It goes into the Tang, and like there's nothing I can really do versus a Tangrowth, especially with my Gengar gone. So like, fuck me. I can fire off a Toxic, but I go for Rocks first because, I don't know, man, I'm dumb. That's why I went for Rocks first. I couldn't tell you, dude. I couldn't tell you. Goes into the Fishy Boy, and let me tell you, no switch-ins to a Fishy Boy if it clicks Earthquake. Should have brought Air Balloon on my Lantern. Didn't. I was more worried about the Super Fang Draco set that he did not bring, so I can't really do anything here. So I just have to let my Lantern go down, which is real unfortunate. Bring in Peekaboo, and this is where the second thing happens. I just go for Player Off, just to get a little bit of damage off on something. He goes into the Young Pickle. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. It is what it is. So we decided to go in Frozone. Our Weavile goes for a knockoff. Yeah, all right, fine. Go for a Crash. Get some nice damage off on something. Goes into the Cobalion as you do. I can get a low kick off. If he's, you know, not a Chopper Berry, this has a chance to kill even without Life Orb. Wouldn't you know he's Chopper Berry and I'm dead. So I can bring in the Mimikyu. Remember that one time I said, you know, how Disguise and the Berry work together? Okay, cool, right? It sort of stands up on this kill with Player Off, right? We chew. We still have our Babiri Berry. He crit me through Babiri Berry, and my Mimikyu dies. So I really have, you know, nothing I can really do at this point. Absolutely no way to break, like, half of his team. He still has Galarian Corsola, Umbreon, and fucking Tangrowth in the back. There is not a single thing I can do. I just have to hope I can get a kill so I don't get completely wheelchaired. Spoiler alert, I get completely fucking wheelchaired. I decided to just fire off a Toxic. Maybe I can live enough turns to kill something with Toxic, dude. At this point, I'm mentally just fucking, I'm done. I'm just completely done with the game at this point in my head. So yeah, I live on 7 HP, get off a Rock Blast, get a crit with one of them, which is, you know, a little bit of fucking justice. But yeah, just gonna go for another Giga Drain, and I'm dead. And all I have left is the this thing, so I'm good on him. Like, I don't blame him for preserving the 6. Do what you gotta do. But here's the worst part. Goes into the fucking Corsola. I can only click knockoff. It's the only thing I have that hits everything. I get fucking curse bodied on the last turn and basically kill myself to struggle at the end of the game, because this game was nothing if not a fucking struggle for me to play through. And again, no hate to Max Rapture. It's not his fault, obviously. He apologized, and it's fine. Like, dude, it's Pokemon. It's just annoying as shit. So Umbreon lives on 2 HP and just completely 1v1s my G-Max. So I have absolutely no way of breaking the Tangrowth after Umbreon just destroys my life and ruins my fun. I get crit through a Resist Berry when I was guaranteed to pick up a kill on the Cobalion that turn. And then to add, just to rub salt in the wound at the end of the game, I have to struggle on the last turn because of Curse Body. Bruh, Pokemon is just a dumb game. But again, no hate to Max, man. It's all jokes. Like, it's all jokes. Don't take it seriously. Don't get offended, man. I'm just memeing. But yeah, guys, that is my you know, team recap and my first 2 games in GDL. We pick up next week in week 5 against my boy Grandmaster D-Ray. Should be a fun game, and it'll be back to normal, where you know, you'll have your live comment, all that sort of stuff, all the layouts and whatnot. And I won't look like this. Maybe I'll have like actually dyed hair. I don't know. I'm considering it. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Should I dye my hair? I kind of want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of want to, but I kind of really don't. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.